Welcome back everyone to another D&Gav Adventures video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys our annual family fishing trip to Big Stone Lake. Big Stone Lake is known for its potbelly of perches and the abundance walleyes that are more than 20 inches long. Along with that, there are a number of other species that include white bass, which was our primary goal for the trip. Last year our family was out there around the very same time. We were fortunate enough to have been there with temperatures that were in the 70s and perfect wind with less than 10 miles per hour. With the perfect weather, we got into the white bass frenzy and lucky enough to have had 2 successful days of it. If you haven't watched those videos, go ahead and check them out. Also, before we move forward, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and help my channel out. Without further ado, let's get to our Big Stone family fishing trip. We arrived at Big Stone on Wednesday, May 18th in the afternoon. After unloading and settling into the cabin, we headed out to the key locations on the lake for some actions. Immediately after only a few casts, we were onto something great. The fishes were hitting our lures and it was a lot of fast action.
First fish in the net. Oh shit.
The net.
Look at the net. Hey, hold the camera. Hold the camera.
Gavin, extend the net.
Oh!
It's a sheep head.
Come on. Get it, Gavin.
No, I'm afraid. Look at the fishing pole. Is that a crapping pole, bro?
You got the first one.
That's fucking disgusting.
For you, bro.
It's a carp. No,
And another one.
This guy, another guy.
But it wasn't what we wanted. Those damn sheepheads just wouldn't leave us alone, which caused Gavin to break one of our lucky rods during his fight.
Look at that. I almost got it on video, but I was a little too late. I bet it's that big carp.
Oh shit!
Oh shit.
Brother, run.
Oh, go under the boat.
Oh, really?
Come on.
Oh, it's another sheephead, dude.
Another sheep. That's the same sheep. That thing broke. Your rod, Gavin, how much was your rod?
Oh. Go this way, you.
Gavin, I saw a snap. Gavin went. Kevin, all these ate all the white bass. They punked all the white bass away, huh?
We can still use this, right?
Gavin, what you think it was?
I want to use the same method.
Gavin, what did you think it was, Gavin? Something big? A giant?
Hold it. Oh, yeah, got another one.
Yep, he wants to hold it.
You want to hold it? I think it's the same thing.
No.
See, that pole's about to... Hold on, D. No.
Walk at the wall. I'll push her. Bro, you gotta control the boat. Oh, Grandpa's the only one catching.
During that first evening, the water was murky and it had become difficult to look at any quality fish. With how slow it was difficult to have the camera rolling to capture the moments. Though it was slow, we were lucky to have caught a few keepers here and there to end the night. My grandpa finished with a few white bass and a 25-inch walleye.
25 and a half. 25. That's a fat man. Run it.
Hey, pick it up.
On the second day, the morning was a bust. The water temperature had also dropped into the 50s. We had 3 boats and no white bass were caught. My cousin Junior and Chino started their morning at the South Dam for some shore fishing and caught the some. As we came back for lunch, I happened to land on a nice eater walleye in front of our cabin, and there the walleyes were turned into lock.
Big fly here. It's good. Be yummy.
Mới chọn dùng xíu cho xả. Đây cũng chỉ có cái chân rộng của cho chuối rang dùng cái chỉ phải rang một chút xả. Một chút xả. Một chút xả cho một tô chân tôi cho một cục có.
Turn this way.
Huh?
Turn this way.
On our third day, which was Friday, the morning started out with nice calm water, but with a cold front. My dad and my uncle went out to fish a cove. The cove was a good mixture of sandy and rock bottom. They were able to locate some nice crappies, that were 13 and 14 inches. But with how difficult it has been during the first 2 days of trying to locate or get these fishes to bite, my dad lost motivation recording, so none of the catches were taped. And of course, when my dad finally got into something good, my dad needed to poop, so they flew back to the cabin and gave the hotspot. After finishing his business on the toilet, we all decided to fly on the boat back to the cove for the crappies. But Mother Nature had a different plan. The wind started to pick up and we were facing 20 miles per hour wind. We got to the spot, but everything had changed. The electronics were no longer marking fishes, the crappies had moved out, and the wind was getting worse. The forecast had 30 miles per hour winds coming at 4 p.m. And into the night, so we decided to get back to the cabin for safety.
Yeah.
This is the worst condition ever. This is not even fishing. This is just torture.
That is like being in the ocean. This is like the closest we're gonna be in the ocean. Huh?
Yeah. Oh my lord. We're taking a shower out here. Oh! What we're dealing with. Last week was nice and warm. It was about 70s last week down here. People were saying it was on fire, but the storm came in earlier this week, like on Tuesday or something. A bunch of trees were falling right outside of Ortonville there. Power lines and everything were falling down, so I think it was pretty windy. I believe that messed everything up, because all these fishes are scattered. The water is pretty murky too. we're gonna call it a night, drink some beer, and we'll see what happens in the morning. Because tomorrow is supposed to be up to like 15 or 20 miles an hour wind too, so I don't think we're gonna be able to make it out. And I bet you can't hit right at the edge of the rocks.
Which one? Alright.
Whichever one.
Oh.
Okay.
What is that?
Dude, that's like 3 feet.
Oh, let's see.
I'm talking about inches.
Alright, ready? Watch this pass. Under that freaking pool.
Cannot.
Okay.
Blank. Saturday was our last full day on the lake, so we decided to head out on the lake early that afternoon. Since we didn't make it out in the morning fishing on this day, the temperature had dropped drastically down to 50s. We were out on the water by 2 p.m. in hopes to find the schools of white bass. We covered over 9 miles of shoreline on the Minnesota and South Dakota side with no success. We were convinced that the fishes scattered and were no longer had any hopes. As we got into the last couple of hours of daylight, we finally got into a bit of a pattern.
Can't see anything. Oh, Grandpa got one.
Okay, go get the net.
Got that on video. Yeah, never mind. They're actually here. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you take it off. My gloves are here. I just got one. I didn't record it because I had to burn this. I got it. Yeah, Dad. Oh, Grandpa got one. Go, just go, just go. Yeah, help him. That's a lot. Oh. Grandpa got one. They're still here. They're just not biting that much. They bite like every 7 minutes probably.
Sunday morning came, but everyone had already given up. No one got up to fish, but rather chose to sleep in and pack up, as we had to leave by 11 a.m. As we stepped outside, the sun finally decided to come out, and the winds finally vanished. It was a beautiful morning, but our trip had already come to an end. Our annual family fishing trip to Big Stone has always been in the end of May. The cabin that we rent out gets taken pretty quick through the summer, so we tend to book it in months prior. Therefore, when it's time for us to come down, we have to settle for whatever the weather is. This year, the weather was not the greatest, and was not our favor for fishing. We didn't permit us to fish as much as we wanted. We believe those storms, along with the wind and cold front during our weekend there, had caused the fish to scatter and change their patterns. My dad has always described Big Stone Lake to be a love and hate relationship. When you get on the white bass run and aggressive walleyes, your love for Big Stone grows into another level. But when you get into the weekend like we did here, you hate everything about this lake. As for this trip, my grandpa caught roughly 10 white bass, 1 walleye, and 20 sheephead.
What?
My dad caught 4 crappies and 3 white bass. My brother Gavin caught 2 white bass, a largemouth, and a sheephead. That broke my lucky rod. I ended up with a walleye and a nice-sized sunfish. Though fishes were caught, we were unfortunate because we didn't get to encounter the white bass frenzy, so the trip was considered skunk. I believe with the next week and into the first week of June, they should be fired up again. But as for us, we'll see you again next year, Big Stone. Farewell.